Hello, welcome to the another session of vocabulary building. Today we are going to revise all the words that we have learned in these 10 videos in these 10 sessions that I have posted so that you can check whether you have saved that in your memory or not. So now let's see and revise them. So the first word that we learned was pertinacious. So pertinacious means what? Determined to achieve a particular aim despite difficulties or opposition. Stubborn, holding firmly to an opinion or course of action. So what is pertinacious? Pertinacious is persistently stubborn to do something that is not possible or that is something that should not be done. So he is stubborn about that thing. So it is what? Pertinacious. Like we have also seen the example that pineapple doesn't go on pizza, but he wants to put that and he is stubborn about it. So pertinacious means what? Persistently stubborn. So the next word we learned was lucidity. Lucidity means what? Clearness of thought and style. The quality of being able to think clearly. So lucidity means what? Clarity of thought. The next word was assiduous. Assiduous means what? Working very hard and taking great care that everything is done as well as it can be. So working very hard to make the thing as perfect as it can be, as great as it can be, as well as it can be. Careful, methodological and very persistent. So working very hard to make the things as well as it can be done. The next word was alacrity. Alacrity means what? Enthusiasm. Cheerful willingness, enthusiasm or eagerness. Promptness in response, cheerful readiness. The next word was sagacity. What is sagacity? Sagacity means exceptional wisdom and sound judgment. Foresight, discernment or keen perception, ability to make good judgment. So sagacity means you can think like that. Sagacity is intelligence and sagacious is that intelligent person. So sagacity means what? Exceptional wisdom. So sagacity means what? You can remember it with wisdom. The next word was sagacious. Sagacious. So sagacious means having and showing keen mental discernment and good judgment. So sagacious is the intelligent person, that wise person, and sagacity means wisdom. So the next word was recondite. Recondite means what? Little known, difficult to understand. I said to you that remember it like this. Kan is coming in this and CO is coming in this recondite, and CO also comes in complex. So recondite equals to complex. So recondite is something that is little is something about which little is known or that is difficult to understand. Used about facts, subjects, etc. Little known about or understood by people. So that is complex to understand or little known by people about it. So that is what? Recondite. The next word was insouciant. Insouciant is a very interesting word, showing a casual lack of concern and indifferent, relaxed, carefree and unconcerned, often to the point of appearing unconcerned about something that might be expected to be taken more seriously. So in everybody's class there is one insouciant guy who is so carefree, unconcerned during the exam time that he creates pressure into most of the students. So insouciant is the word which you can remember through this picture, that showing a casual lack of concern. The next word was truculent. Truculent means what? Somebody who truly needs truculent means someone who is eager and quick to argue and fight, aggressively defiant. The next word was conspicuous. Conspicuous means what? Easily seen or noticed, attracting attention. Conspicuous means what? Can be easily seen or noticed. The next word was these are the words that we learned in the first session. Now we are going to see the words that we have learned in second session. Okay, now let's see the words that we learned in second session. So the first word we learned in the second session was perspicacious. So what does perspicacious means? Having a ready insight and understanding of things. So perspicacious can also be equal to smart. The next word was recalcitrant. So perspicacious means someone who has keen understanding. Recalcitrant means refusing to follow. Calci means something sounding like cancel. So refusing to follow instructions or rules, not easy to control. Stubbornly resistant to authority and discipline. So what is recalcitrant? Refusing to follow instructions or rules, not easy to control. The next word was quixotic. Quixotic means what? Unrealistic, overly idealistic, or impractical. So quixotic means what? Unrealistic, overly idealistic. The next word was obstreperous. What does obstreperous means? Obstreperous means noisy, difficult to control, and defiant. So obstreperous child, that is difficult to control and noisy. So obstreperous means difficult to control and noisy. So the next word is pusillanimous. So what does pusillanimous means? Pusil means small, animus means heart. So somebody who has small heart, showing a lack of courage or cowardly. The next word was sesquipedalian. The interesting word, another interesting word. So sesquipedalians means what? A person who uses long, complicated words. There is a very good sentence about this. I don't like those people who use sesquipedalian words just to look smart. Irascible. So what does irascible means? IR is coming in this, and IR also comes what? Irritate. So easily angered or short tempered, who gets irritated easily. So that is what? Irascible. The next word is intransigent. Intransigent means unwilling to change views in compromise. Stubborn as a mule. So somebody who is unwilling to change his views and opinions and not willing to compromise is intransigent. The next word was interminable. Interminable means endless or seemingly endless, goes on forever. The next word is inscrutable. So what does inscrutable means? Inscrutable means difficult to understand or interpret, mysterious. So inscrutable means what? Difficult to understand or interpret or mysterious. So this word is usually used about people because people are inscrutable, difficult to understand or interpret, or mysterious. There is also a book, The Inscrutable American. So it is used about people who are difficult to understand or difficult to interpret or mysterious. So these are the words that we learned in second session. Now we will see the words that we learned in third session. So now let's see the word that we learned in third session. The first word was nefarious. So what does nefarious means? Criminal, immoral, wicked, and evil. So nefarious you can learn with this picture. In Balvi there is a Bhayankar Pari who is what? Immoral, wicked, or evil. So nefarious means what? Wicked, evil, immoral. The next word was juxtapose. Juxtapose means to place two things side by side for comparison. The next word was laconic. Laconic means using very few words, concise to the point of seeming rude. The next word was impetuous. Impetuous means what? Acting quickly without thought or care. So impetuous means immediately. I am is coming in it, immediately maybe I am aata hai. So acting quickly without thought or care. Impetuous. The next word is winsome. Winsome means what? Attracting or appealing in a certain or a charming way. The next word is whimsical. Whimsical means physically unusual and unimaginative. So the word is whimsical. Whimsical means what? Playfully unusual and imaginative, fanciful, quirky, capricious. The next word is wily. Wily means what? Skilled at gaining an advantage, often deceitfully, cunning. So wily means what? Cunning, and skilled at gaining an advantage, often deceitfully. The next word is wane. Wane to become gradually weaker or less important. Used about the moon to appear slightly smaller each day after being full and round. So wane means to become gradually weaker or less important or reduce in size. The next word is voracious. Voracious means what? Eating or wanting large amount of foods, wanting a lot of new information and knowledge. So voracious means what? Eating or wanting large amount of food and knowledge. It is usually used about food and knowledge. So wanting a lot of information and knowledge, or eating or wanting a large amount of foods. The next word was vindictive. So what does vindictive means? Wanting or trying to hurt somebody without good reason. So somebody who tries to hurt other is what? Vindictive. So these are the words that we learned in third session. Now we will see the words that we have learned in fourth session. Okay, so now let's see the words of the fourth session. So the first word was verisimilitude. Verisimilitude. So the word means the appearance of being true and real. So similar to something that is real. Similar to real. So simile is coming in the word verisimilitude. So means the appearance of being true and real. बिल्कुल similar है real वाले के. So this means what? The appearance of being true and real. So this is the art of a cat, but it is looking real. So this is what? Verisimilitude of a cat. The next word is vacillate. So what does vacillate means? To waver between different opinions and actions. So vacillate means what? To waver between different opinions and actions. The next word is vitriolic. So what does vitriolic means? Filled with bitter criticism or malice. So what does vitriolic mean? Filled with bitter criticism or malice. The next word is vociferous. So what does vociferous means? Expressing opinions loudly and forcefully. Something carrying, voci means voice and ferous means carrying. So something that is carrying voice. So expressing opinions loudly and forcefully. The next word was tedious. Tedious is something that is too long, slow, dull or tiresome. The next word is scrutinize. So what does scrutinize means? To look at or examine something carefully. So scrutinize means what? जैसे कि take it like this कि scrutinize means screw जैसा sound आ रहा है ना इसमें, तो screw को खोल के हम उसका सारा check करते, examine करते. So learn it from that. So to look at or examine something carefully, scrutinize. So the next word was perilous. Perilous means what? देखो dangerous में भी OUS आ रहा है, perilous में भी OUS आ रहा है, तो perilous means what? Dangerous. So remember it something like that through which you can recall it very easily. So perilous means what? Dangerous, hazardous, risky, unsafe, precarious. So the next word is indignant. So what does indignant means? Shocked or angry because somebody has said or done something that you don't like and do not agree with. So what does indignant means? Shocked or angry because somebody has said or done something that you don't like and do not agree with. So this is what? Indignant. The next word is lucid. Lucid means what? Clear. The next word is frivolous. So what does frivolous means? Not having any serious purpose or value. So frivolous में free आ रहा है, बिल्कुल free है, कोई purpose नहीं है, कोई value नहीं है, कोई काम नहीं है. So frivolous means what? Not having any serious purpose or value. So these are the words of the fourth session. Now see the words of the fifth session. Okay, so the first word of fifth session was obsolete. Obsolete means what? Out of date and no longer used. I think the commonest students are very familiar with words because they have done those obsolescence, depreciation and all, because the things became obsolete, out of date, no longer in use. The next word is reticent. Reticent means what? Not revealing one's thoughts or feelings entirely, readily. So reticent means what? Not revealing one's thoughts or feelings readily. The next word is impeccable. Impeccable means what? In accordance with highest standards and faultless. Impeccable means what? Perfect. The next word is apathetic. Apathetic means what? Showing or feeling no enthusiasm, interest or concern. There is no feeling because pathos means feelings and a means no. So no feelings. Cacophony. Caco means harsh, phony means sound. So cacophony means what? Harsh sound. The next word is futile. Futile means incapable of producing any useful result. Pointless. The next word is morose. Morose means sullen and ill-tempered. So morose means what? Sullen and ill-tempered. The next word is so morose means something जो छोटी छोटी बात पे गुस्सा हो जाता है, मुंह फुला लेता है, क्योंकि sullen and ill-tempered. The conundrum. So what does conundrum means? A confusing and difficult problem or question. So what does conundrum means? A confusing and difficult problem or question. Con means con is coming in conundrum, and it also comes in confusing. So a confusing and a difficult problem or question is what? Conundrum. The next word is altruistic. Altruistic means what? Showing a selfless concern for the well-being of others. Kind, generous. So altruistic means someone who is kind and generous, showing a selfless concern for the well-being of others. The next word is ephemeral. Ephemeral is something that is lasts for a very short time, and the other word for something that lasts for a very short time is evanescent. So these are the words of the 5th session. So now we will see all the other 5th session, all these words that we have learned in the further 5th session, that is from 5 to 10. We will see that in the next video. Thank you.